Good morning, everyone. Today, the topic will be about diseases and disorders. Hello, everyone. I am here to do a presentation, a very short presentation, which you all will be very interested in. And firstly, before I start, I want to introduce myself and then tell you what I'm going to be doing today. So, so I am Hansini. I'm a grade 10 student from Oak Ridge International School, as you can see. And I am very passionate towards becoming a doctor, as you all can see, because I am like very passionate towards everything I see. And I am doing this presentation because I wanted to spread awareness about the different diseases that are ongoing right now or in the trials of research. So my main journey is to focus on 4 different diseases under 4 different specialities under different circumstances. I'll be telling you all the symptoms, the treatments, and all the stuff which are very important, which should be known by everyone. Okay, so you all know me, right? And you can just read if you want to know more about me. I'm just going to give you 2 seconds to read. So I have this small project in my school called Personal Project, where you have to be taking a career path you're interested in. So my career path is to become a doctor. So I've chosen this project of researching on the different diseases under different specialities. So my main goal or the main motto is to spread awareness to all of you guys and to make sure everybody knows about all these treatments, medications, and all these stuff. So moving on. So you might be wondering, as I told you, what is my passion towards and what is this even about? So all this presentation is all about the different diseases that I'll be discussing right now under different factors called treatments, medications, post-op, pre-op, surgical procedures, what kind of symptoms will you have if you have those diseases, etc. And what is my passion? I want to become a doctor. One simple sentence, I want to become a doctor. Before I go on, can I know who all want to become a doctor? Okay, great. That's really great. Only one? Okay, great. What kind of doctor do you want to be? Dermatologist. Okay, great. What about you? Okay, okay, great. Thank you. You can sit down. Okay, moving on. So this is my main goal of my project, which talks about promoting research. I have went to different doctors under different specialities, making sure I collect relevant and sufficient data. My next aim is to diverse ailments within distinct medical fields. So this talks about the different specialities under different medical fields like gastroenterology, talking about stomach, neurology, talking about brain, and many other fields. And my other thing is promoting health and well-being. It could either be depression, it could either be anxiety, all kind of mental and physical issues. And the next one is approval from certified doctors. All the research or all the materials I've collected are approved from certified doctors. They have done their MBBS, MS, and also done their masters in all those specialities. And then diverse specialities from varied medical fields, as I already mentioned. Moving on. Okay. So what do you think our main topic for today is? I've given you so many hints so far. Yeah? Louder. You can just sit and talk, it's fine. Diseases, all right, very good. Yeah, basically today our topic is going to be about diseases and disorders, most commonly going right now, and which have to be known by everyone because these are the basic ones that everybody has to know importantly. And then we'll be talking about 3 different organs or like the parts of the body which are being affected in the humans right now in this period of time. So we'll be talking about heart, as you all know, lungs, brain, and all those organs. Moving on. So this is our index of today. So I'll be talking about what are diseases and disorders. We'll have various examples of diseases, common illnesses, etc. And we'll be talking about neurology, cardiology, neurosurgeon, all these kinds of diseases, which I'll be explaining further in the upcoming slides. Okay, moving on. Okay, before I start, I want to know what are diseases. What do you think are diseases? Anyone? Any one word? Anyone? Okay, all right. I bet nobody knows about diseases. It's fine. Okay. So what are diseases? A disease is a condition or a disorder that affects the normal functioning of the body. What kind of illnesses do you know? Yeah? Bacteria, okay. And then bad bacteria, good bacteria, infectious diseases. All these can be affected due to multiple reasons. It can be caused by various factors such as germs, as she mentioned, bacteria, good bacteria, all the kind of viruses, fungi, and then the lifestyle choices or genetic reasons. So when you talk about genetic reasons, it could be mutations, it could be genetic codes. Did you guys study about genetic mutations and all those stuff? Okay, never mind. Okay then. Genetic reasons is basically where it is passed on from one generation to another generation. For example, if one of your parents is having a disease, for example, some genetic disorder, their kids will also have that disorder. It is very rare, but multiply and preferably that child will also have some kind of disorder which is genetically mutated from the parent. Got it? And then diseases can make people feel unwell, which is very common. If you get a fever, you'll feel drowsy, you'll have fatigue, you'll have all kinds of different symptoms and can affect different parts of the body. Can affect your brain, your heart, your lungs, your intestines, your body temperature, etc. And like the heart, as I mentioned, and the brain. To give an example, do you know what structure it is? What organ is it? Okay, great. This is the stomach. So the stomach is a healthy stomach here. Due to some bacteria and some infectious diseases being attacked, you will see a damaged stomach. So some kind of bacteria is being affected to a healthy organ, making it an infectious organ, okay? It can be communicable, it can be non-communicable. What is communicable diseases? Communicable diseases are something which can be passed from one person to another who's being affected. And non-communicable is which cannot be gone from one person to another. All right? Okay, moving on. You guys know what is this? What is this called? Cold is very common. You guys sneeze, you guys use handkerchiefs and all those stuff. This is some common illnesses. What is that? Very good. This one? Okay, good. So all these are very common in general, everybody knows them. And some of you are, I think, suffering from cough and cold because of the cold weathers. Am I right? Yes, yeah, even me too. Okay, moving on. So before we talk about all these sectional diseases under different specialities, what do you think we'll be talking about in terms of brain today? What kind of disease, what kind of disorder we'll be talking about? Any idea? Some guesses? Okay guys, I forgot to mention, I'll be asking different random questions in between by one of one, and whoever gets the right answer, they'll get a chocolate. All right? So please focus. Okay, so yeah, the question is, what do you think will be the disease related to brain? Okay, one of them is included, thank you. Anyone? There's one more. There are two brain diseases that we're going to discuss today. So one is brain tumors, as he mentioned. What is one more? Any idea? Okay. So I bet nobody knows this, but we'll be discussing about the PSP, which is also called as the progressive supranuclear palsy. I didn't know this until 1 year because one of my family member is affected with PSP. So by this, I wanted to research more on that and find out more solutions, more medications using doctors' help and all those stuff. So I've chosen this disease because I thought this has to be known by everyone, and it is most of the common diseases right now, but it is very rare that according to my research or the doctor's prescription, it only occurs in like 1 out of thousands. So out of 1,000 people, only 1 people will get this PSP. Got it? Does anybody know what is Parkinson's? No? Okay, we'll be talking about it further. Okay, we'll be talking about PSP right now. So the first question, what is this? Any idea? Any hints, guesses? No? You? No? Okay. Okay, talking about PSP. PSP is a progressive disorder or a disease which is said to be neurodegenerative. The term neurodegenerative talks about the decline in the neurons, where the development of the neurons inside the brain is declined completely or rapidly. So there'll be no development, there'll be no formation of neurons. So there'll be, what is the purpose of neurons in our brain? Anyone? Okay, the neurons inside our brain, you know what are neurons, right? The cells inside the brain. Does anybody know them? You don't know them, right? What are neurons? It's fine if it's wrong. It's cool. Yeah, they send electrical impulses all over your body, sending messages, different messages, right? So when these nerves stop functioning or there's no development of any nerves inside the brain, there'll be no kind of movement. So it will be affecting your cognitive and motor functions. Cognitive is basically your speech, your hearing, your sight, etc. And motor functions are basically your movement, your leg movements, your muscle movements, etc. Got it? Okay. Then, so typically this disease is diagnosed within the elderly people between the age of 60 to 75 years. Currently, one of my family members is suffering with PSP. So I've seen their symptoms. According to me, I thought there was a slow decline in the walk. So when they walk, they used to fall down. They don't have any support from their brain to the legs. There is no muscle movement, there's nothing. Okay? So that is one of the symptoms. And basically, Parkinson's is similar to PSP, but then people are misdiagnosed that, people who ever have PSP, doctors think they also have Parkinson's. So Parkinson's is also a disease like PSP, very similar. They share the common symptoms, but Parkinson's is basically, there'll be no, there'll be no processing of brain functions, like there'll be no kind of proper activeness in the person. When you're talking to that person, they'll be drowsy, they'll be closing their eyes, they can't speak properly, we can't hear them. There is some other kind of relation between them. So there'll be some or the other kind of symptoms between them. So basically doctors always misdiagnose Parkinson's and PSP together. Okay? For example, you went to the doctor and then you have the same symptoms. Doctor will wonder if you have PSP or Parkinson's. So they'll do some tests, like they'll use MRI and PET scans to make sure there's a brain shrinkage. So basically brain shrinkage, I'll show you. Yeah, so when you see this image, this is a normal brain. As you can see, there is no, it's just normal, it's just, what do you call, thick and proper. But in the people with PSP, it is shrinked. It is turned smaller, which is making the doctors think, okay, this guy or this girl is having PSP or either Parkinson's. If they have PSP or Parkinson's, to rule out the common symptoms, the doctors will make sure to take more and more of examinations, making sure the patient has only PSP, not Parkinson's. Got it? Okay. And then PSP isn't hereditary. It is not mutated from one generation to the other. Okay? What do you mean by hereditary? It's fine if it's wrong. I'm just asking you simple questions. Does anybody know? Remember when your parents say, you got the same, genes as your father. You know what that means, right? You got the same, Telugu, right, all of you? Me andariki same polikal vachai antaru kada, like that. So that is basically when you're having the same genes or the same kind of structure of your parents. That is called something called, hereditary or like genes. It is, what DNA is, right? Right? Because of that DNA from your parents, they'll be passed on to your offsprings, like the babies that you're going to have. They'll have the same structure or the features of you. So that's called hereditary, right? Okay, so based on this, we can say that PSP is not hereditary. PSP is caused due to lack of nutrients, lack of food. When there's, normally the main cause of PSP is when there's abnormal damage and cell damage and tau protein buildup. So there's this protein called tau in our brains, which is helping to develop the neurons inside our brain. So when the tau is more and more produced, the cells, the cell structure, right? Anyone? Did you guys discuss the axon, the dendrites? You guys know? Okay, never mind. So in the axon, there'll be like a structure, the neuron. In the axon, there'll be small microtubules which will be falling apart because of the more buildup of tau protein. So like this, the whole structure of neuron will be declined rapidly. So there'll be no development of neurons. Because of this, there'll be no nerve cells inside our brain making the impulses to our body, to the entire body. So there'll be no movement, no speech, no walking, they can't run, they can't eat properly, they can't swallow. So there are more factors associated with this. So like that, we can say PSP is not hereditary. It cannot be, if your father has PSP, you won't be able to get PSP. It's not mutated from one generation to another. It is not a genetic disorder. Got it? Okay. Okay, diagnosis involves brain scans like MRI and PET scans. If your doctor says that you have PSP, they'll be giving you MRI scans and PET scans. Who all know what is MRI? Have you ever been to hospitals? There you would have seen a radiologist room. Okay, probably not many of them would have seen, but an MRI scan is where they'll be using strong electromagnetic radiations, which will be helpful for the doctors to see inside your body. All the muscles, all the brains can be seen using these MRI and PET scans. So these are how the MRI and PET scans look, basically, when you take these scans. And by this, they can tell whether you have the shrinkage or it is just normal brain development. Okay? And then a neurologist confirms the results. So neurology is the study of brain. So whichever person studies about brain or like researchers on different diseases, they are neurologists. So only neurologists related to brain functions will be telling you if you have PSP or Parkinson's based on your reports. Okay? Okay, and then ongoing research. Okay, now as I said, because of the tau protein, there's more declination of neurons inside our brain. To know the tau protein buildup in our brain, there are ongoing research that are happening right now. Many people are researching on how to find out how much tau is left in your brain, how much protein of tau is left in your brain. So there are still ongoing research going on. So doctors, to rule out whether it is PSP or Parkinson's, doctors will rule out the common symptoms. So if suppose if you have PSP and Parkinson's, both of them told you have PSP and Parkinson's. To know whether you have PSP or not, they'll be taking out the common symptoms between them. So PSP and Parkinson's share the common symptoms like, slow down in walking, the brain function is not good, speech therapy. They'll rule out all of this. When there's one common symptom left, they'll make sure whether it is a Parkinson's or a PSP. So based on that, we can surely assure that we don't have Parkinson's, but we do have PSP based on these researches. So yeah. And then I'll show you some pictures. So this is one of the family where this person was affected with PSP. In the entire world, as per my knowledge, I think around the world there are only 100 cases of PSP. Don't you think it's very less? It's very rare. This disease is very rare, but right now it is the most ongoing and the most developed disease in the cities. So one more picture is, and this is one of the families where he was diagnosed with PSP. So the people, and I'm sorry, I didn't mention that. The people with PSP have only 6 to 9 years to live. Okay, got it? Yeah. More pictures. So yeah, this is one of the surgical procedures to improve the rate of progression, or like Parkinson's. This is mostly used for Parkinson's, not preferably for PSP. But here, there'll be an electrical impulse. Can you see? Everybody can see, right? So there's an electrical impulse placed on the top of your skin outside the heart. They'll be sending you electrical impulses to your brain, making sure you get them without the neuron's help. Got it? When the heart pumps, it's going to give you some kind of impulses, right? So these impulses are carried towards your brain to act as neurons inside your brain when the neurons are not functioning properly. Got it? Any doubts? Good. So this is how people will walk if they have PSP. There'll be slow declination of walk as the disease progresses. This is a progressive disease. It will be ongoing. It will grow rapidly. Okay. More pictures. So this is how the tau protein is built and how this is a neuron. In this neuron there'll be axon. This is the axon. In the axon there'll be microtubules. Because of the buildup of tau, they'll be breaking down, making the structure of the neuron not very stable. So like that, there'll be declination of neurons inside our brain. So this is how it's progressing over a period of time for PSP. A normal person with no PSP, and then there's a person with slowly progressive, and then the whole brain is getting affected. There are no neurons present. Only few of them are functioning properly. Everything is damaged. Okay, so this is all about PSP. Okay. Okay, moving on. We are done with our brain. We have one more part of brain, but let's just talk about heart right now because brain is everything is so boring. So heart. Okay. What is the most common heart disease that are ongoing right now? Very good. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, we'll be talking about coronary artery disease, which is also called as heart attacks. But the scientific word for that is coronary artery disease, CAD, okay? It can also be stroke. Okay, moving on. The question as it is, what is this? Okay. To sum up all these, I'll show you an image. I think it's not well. Okay. So this is our heart. There are many, many arteries, many, many veins carrying blood to the heart and from the heart to the all over the body. You guys know what a heart does, right? All of you do know. Okay, tell me, what does heart do? Pumping? Yeah, great. Okay, I think he's the only one who knows everything. Okay. Now, the coronary artery disease deals with the plaque buildup. Now, what is plaque? A plaque is consisting of all the cholesterol deposits. Suppose if you eat a lot of chocolates, sweets, junk food, etc., all these plaque will be developed as diabetes. You know what diabetes? Sugar. You guys know what diabetes is, right? So when these diabetes, starts building up, there's a cholesterol deposits in the flow of. So your blood carries all the nutrients, all the necessary items, right? During that process, the blood will be leaving some cholesterol deposits in the heart structure. So because of this plaque buildup, the flow of the blood will be difficult to pass through. For example, there's a pipe filled with water, and there's some germs, there's some dirt, there's something inside the pipe. How will the water flow? It'll be hard, right? So the same thing is applied here. When there's an artery, and then there's more plaque buildup in the arteries, there'll be no blood flow to the heart. So the heart stops pumping. You'll have some chest pain. The first symptom of CAD is chest pain. Okay? So this plaque is built due to some cholesterol deposits. So if you eat more junk, you'll have this plaque buildup. Even though you eat more junk, you need to exercise to reduce the level of cholesterol deposits. If you exercise, all these cholesterol deposits will be exhibiting your body as sweat, as you guys know. When you run, you sweat, right? That's a physical exercise. So if you do more and more physical exercise, you will be not even close to getting CAD. All right? You have any doubts? You seem clueless. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is a widespread heart condition. Literally everyone would be diagnosing with this CAD. Mostly, as far as I think, Asia has more cardiovascular diseases like this, like stroke, heart attack, CAD, etc. So when you have chest pain, you immediately go to the doctor. To make sure that you have CAD or not, the doctor runs some tests. So they'll be using angioplasty or coronary. So these are some surgical procedures. Angiography is basically where they'll be checking your blood pressure across that part of section. Angioplasty is basically with stent placement. Basically, they'll put up like a stent to make sure that the plaque is removed. So do you know that experiment where a doctor will use the balloon to put it inside your arteries? Any teachers, anybody know that? Yeah, angiography. Yeah. So basically, they'll put up like a balloon inside your arteries or like the veins to remove the plaque or like to make sure that the blood flows easily. Not to basically remove, but to make sure the blood flows easily. So they'll be using such stents inside your arteries to widen the arteries. So when the plaque is formed, they're narrowed down. So can you see the blood very hard to pass through? But in a normal thing, it will flow very fastly. And that's the, how will you check the blood pressure? The BP, you know BPs, right? So like that you'll check. But if the plaque is developed, you'll have low BP because the blood stop right there, can't flow. You'll have chest pain, you'll have fatigue, you can't breathe. You won't have enough blood in your entire body. So because of this small part section of arteries getting blocked, your whole body will stop getting some kind of blood to your body. There'll be no proper function of blood. And then medications actually play a vital role. And even this CAD is diagnosed by one of my family members, very close related family members. So they have been suffering with chest pain for a very long time. And drugs like all these statins, aspirin, you know what aspirin is, right? Aspirin is used for fevers, colds, etc., many other things. So even the aspirins can be used to reduce different kinds of aspirin, not aspirin, different kinds of aspirins can be used to reduce the plaque buildup in the arteries. Got it? Okay. Now, we'll talk about coronary artery bypass grafting where, you know what bypass surgeries are, right? You know that, right? Anyone? Do you know? Okay. So basically, they'll be putting up a new kind of, so they'll be taking some kind of other, arteries from your legs or your hands, and they'll be grafting them inside near the arteries by removing these section of arteries. They'll be placing one more other piece of what you call veins. So by this, there'll be proper blood flow, and then there'll be no plaque buildup again. To reduce the plaque buildup, do a lot of exercises. Do physical and mental exercises. Not mental, obviously, but physically. You have to run, you have to jog, you have to do karate, but you have to sweat to make sure that all the cholesterol deposits are removed from your body as soon as possible after you eat. How many of you like chocolates? A lot of you, okay. But that doesn't mean you're gonna get cat, but it's important to reduce the usage of chocolates. Okay, moving on, a lot of pictures. So yeah, this is plague, this is blood. As you can see, the blood is it's very narrow. So the blood flow will be very low, so there will be no blood pass to the heart. Okay, by this, we can say that the person is suffering from CAD. What is the first symptom of CAD? Anyone? Anyone? Raise your hand. Okay, very good. You got a chocolate. Okay, more and more pictures. The plague, look at that. It's very narrow. So such issues will be very externally. They need to go to the emergency to make sure that they don't, get their heart stopped immediately. So such cases should be very quick and very spontaneous. More images, I guess. Yeah. So the symptoms: fatigue, dizziness, lightedness, shortness of breath, chest discomfort, or chest pain. Got it? So all of these are symptoms. When one of your family members suffers with these, please make sure you go to the hospitals and attend the emergencies and talk to your doctors regarding this. Now moving on, heart is done. Are you guys happy with heart and brain? Anyone, any doubts? Okay. Now we'll be talking about eye. What is eye? What does it do? Anyone, raise your hand. Anyone? Yes? Louder. What? Wait, it's fine, louder. Okay, yeah, tell me. It helps to see, okay. See what? See me, you? Places like? It helps us to see light, dark, colors, different kinds of elements in our whole colorful world. So eye is the most fundamental unit or the part of our body. Without eyes, can you even see? You can sit. Okay. Now what is the disease that we're going to talk about in terms of eyes? Yeah? Louder. It's fine. Sit and talk. It's fine. No. Anyone? I'll give you a hint. It is something related to more internal pressure of the eye. Yes? Sight, okay. Something related to sight. But what is the scientific word? Anyone? You? Don't know? Okay, fine. We'll be talking about glaucoma. So glaucoma is one of the most common problems ongoing right now. So to further discuss, what is this? So glaucoma is also a very progressive disease as far as I know, and it is damaging your optic nerves. Have you guys studied about the structure of an eye? No? Okay. So to sum up all these, glaucoma is basically caused to the internal pressure, more internal pressure inside your eye. So you get a headache, right? Why do you get a headache? Because there's more pressure or like more stress on your eyes. Am I right? So yeah, so when the pressure is inside your eye, it is damaging all parts of the eye, making sure that you're not sending any kind of electrical impulses to your brain to access the image. Okay? So what does eye do? It sends, so backside of the eye, there's a nerve called optic nerve, which is attached to the brain, sending all the electrical impulses to make sure that you can see the image, that you can, tell whether it is a color image, whether it is a white and black image, etc. So glaucoma is basically when there's more IOT, internal pressure of the eye, where it is rapidly increasing. It's a progressive thing, and it possesses a threat to vision. So when there's more internal pressure, the nerve gets damaged. So you can't send any images from the eye to the brain. So you can't see things, you'll go blind. You lose your sight, you lose your vision. Okay? So, and it is often hereditary. So when I talked about hereditary, it is a genetic disorder. It can be mutated from your parents to you and your offsprings, to your babies, etc. And the disease, a genetic disorder, manifests with various eye issues and sight disorders. When there's more and more pressure in your eyes, what do you think will happen? You lose your sight, you lose your vision, you can't see things properly, everything will be blurry. There'll be a small fog kind of structure on your iris. Our iris is the colored part. You know what cornea is, right? Anybody? Cornea is a part of the eye where it is present on the top of the thing to cover or to protect the eye. So glaucoma is basically when there's a foggy structure on the eye, making sure that you can't see things properly. Everything will be blurry, you can't see. Okay? So this is glaucoma. So basically there are two types of glaucoma called open angle and then angle closure. Angle closure is basically, so before this I didn't mention this. Glaucoma is basically caused when there's a aqueous humor inside between the cornea, like the first layer of the eye, and between the lens behind your eye. So there's this small liquid called aqueous humor. So it will be traveling from the drainage canal to the drainage veins and all those stuff. When the drainage canals and the drainage tools are all messed up, or there's some kind of blockage due to the high internal pressure, everything will be compressed. So the aqueous humor can't travel to different places inside the eye. Okay? Because of this, there's more pressure, and then the aqueous humor starts to cover the one part of the eye. And that's why it's so blurry and you can't see things properly. This is normal eye, this is glaucomic eye. Okay? So this is why. And then there's two types, open angle glaucoma and then angle closure glaucoma. So open angle is basically where it is partially, the drainage canal where the aqueous humor is traveling, it is very partially closed, not completely, but like a part of it is like blocked with some kind of plague inside it. Okay? But angle closure is an emergency because the entire canal is completely closed. There's no kind of transport of aqueous humor from the drainage canal to the eye. Okay? So there are two different types of glaucoma, as you can see. And the common risk factors include the family history. For example, as I said, it's a genetic mutation, it's a genetic disorder. If your parent has glaucoma, you'll also get glaucoma. It's very rare though, but it happens. Okay? And intraocular pressure, so IOT, interocular pressure measurement and visual field test will be done if your doctor thinks you have glaucoma. So IOT is a machine where it will check your internal eye pressure. So by this, the doctors can assess if you have glaucoma or not. Some diagnosis can happen like that. And then, what are visual field tests, right? Have you ever been to a doctor for eye checkups? Eye checkups like for sight. You have specs. Did you ever go to the doctor? What did they do there? Yeah, so you'll have some specs and then there's a TV completely full of letters, right? So if you can read them, you have normal vision. If you can't, you have sight. Some kind of sight, right? So they are called visual field tests, and treatment involves lowering eye pressure. So there's also this laser procedure to detect, or to find a solution for glaucoma. If you have the foggy eyes, they'll remove that layer of the aqueous humor or fix the drainage canals inside the eye. So by this you will be able to see dark, light, color. But if it's not treated early, you'll go blind. There are 50% chances you'll go blind if it's not treated properly. If you think you have glaucoma, if you don't think you don't have, if you think you have a glaucoma and you still are not sure, go to 6-month checkup, compulsory. If your eyes are reddened every single time, I'll show you the symptoms. So if your eyes are like reddened, if there's a small foggy area, the cloggy part inside your eye, if you can't see properly, tell to your parents, make sure you go to the hospitals, go for a 6-month checkup even though you don't have it, to make sure you don't get it again. And make sure none of your parents also have like glaucoma. So as I said, you have to go for regular checkups, and more images is related to, so they'll be prescribing you 4 kinds of drops. I'm not sure of their names, I have to research and I'll tell you later. But these 4 drops will be helping you reduce the progression, but not immediately solve the issue. Got my point? Okay. One more thing, so this is the eye. This is the optic nerve connected to your brain that is inside the eye. When you slice the eye into half, you'll see this portion. So this is the aqueous humor between the cornea and the lens. This is the convex lens, this is the cornea. Cornea protects your outer layer of the eye. So it is present between this thing. This is the aqueous humor. So this is the drainage canal which will be transported differently randomly. So when these drainage canals are blocked with some kind of some kind of plague or like any other disturbances, the aqueous humor will not be traveling, hence it will be reaching to your cornea, making your cornea blur so you can't see images properly. Because of the high pressure, everything will be compressed. Got my point? Everything will be compressed like a, what do you say? When you compress a balloon, how will it be? It will be small, right? So everything will be compressed, making sure that all the things are damaged. Here's the retina. This is where the image is captured. Sorry. Yeah, this is where the image is captured. When there's no kind of electrical impulses to your brain, what does the retina do? It does not do anything, right? So there is some kind of progression happening here. So when there's more build-up over here, there'll be no transport of thing, and this will reach to the cornea, etc., etc. happens. You have to go to the doctor, you have to do a surgery, medications, etc. So make sure to go for regular checkups, even though you don't have it. Okay, so glaucoma surgery before and after. So lens with glaucoma, normal eye lens. So lens, the cornea will be clogged, as I said, and this is a normal eyes. So this is the thing. With the surgery, they'll remove the part of the cornea and they'll attach a new one. So that is glaucoma. One more picture. Yeah, the symptoms are very important. You'll have usual very common headaches, very severe headaches. You can either have thunderclap headaches or like one-side headaches, migraines, etc. Most importantly, blurred vision. Blurred vision can also cause you sight, but that doesn't mean you also have glaucoma. So you have to make sure whether you can see properly or not. And then you have high intraocular pressure, which is also called as IOT. So they'll be checking that, and then all the common things, redness of the eye, fatigue, and all those stuff. And the most important thing is pain in the eyes and the eyebrows. Pain, not headache, pain. Got my point? Okay. Now we're done with eyes. Okay, now I think we can watch a small video where it's just a 20 seconds video where they'll be telling what is glaucoma.
In the healthy eye, fluid called aqueous humor is made in the front of the eye and flows out through a tiny drain called the trabecular.
1 second.
In the healthy eye, fluid called aqueous humor is made in the front of the eye and flows out through a tiny drain called the trabecular meshwork. The trabecular meshwork is located in an area called the drainage angle. If fluid doesn't flow out of the drainage angle properly,
so this is the meshwork. When the drainage cannot be traveled properly, all these things will be gone to the cornea,
increases,
making sure the cornea is clogged, so people can't see.
And damages the optic nerve.
These are the optic nerves. They'll be connected to your brain. Here's the retina. Retina will collect the image and send that to the brain later on through the optic nerves. Got it? Yeah, that's it. Moving on. Okay, now somebody said brain tumors. Who was that? You, right? Now, I love this part, okay? I don't know if everybody of you likes it, but I love this part personally because it's all about brain tumors. You know what malignant and benign tumors are? Anyone? Malignancy, benign tumors inside your brain. We're only talking about brain tumor, not any other tumors. Okay, we'll further discuss about it. Okay. As I said, benign and malignant tumors. Only brain tumors, not anything else. Okay. What is this? So benign is basically non-cancerous tumor. What is tumor? Anyone? What is cancer? How is cancer formed? Smoking, but don't we also have like cancer cells in our body present? We all of us have cancer cells in our body. But due to some unusual changes or hereditary problems, the cancer starts to grow, making it a tumor and then spreading. Tumor is basically when the cancer cells are formed to an extent, but then when this cancer starts to spread, when this tumor starts to spread, this is called a cancer. Cancer is when all the cells are spread all over your body. Tumor is a part of a section of a cancer. But people think, tumor and cancer are same, but technically no. Okay. Now benign tumors are in the brain, so they are like that. So benign is a huge tumor, and benign is not cancerous. They are not cancer. But malignancy or malignant tumors are cancerous. They are said to be cancer because they are spreading all over your brain and they cannot be treated. Benign can be treated using craniotomy or craniectomy. We'll be discussing that further. But benign are not cancerous. Malignant brain tumors are cancerous. Why are they cancerous? Because they spread. Benign, they don't spread. They're non-cancerous, as I mentioned here. A benign tumor has distinct, smooth, regular borders. A malignant tumor has irregular borders, making it easy to flow, easy to spread all over the parts of your brain. So, talking about craniotomy and craniectomy. Craniotomy is, as I've shown, they are the two surgical procedures to treat tumors. Who wants to know about surgical procedures? Who are interested in becoming surgeons? No? No one? That's sad. Okay. Craniotomy is basically, so if there's a tumor in your brain, they'll remove a part of your skull, they'll remove a part of a skin called some humor. I'm not sure about that, but they'll be, after the surgery, they'll be replacing the bone flap right in there. You know the skull, right? The skull is made up of bone. Am I right? Right? So in craniotomy, they'll do all the procedure and they'll put the bone again and fix it with metal stabs. Okay? And then the metal stabs will be in your brain for your entire life until you die. But in craniectomy, they'll just leave like that. They won't put any skull after the removal of the tumor from your brain. You understand the point? So they'll do this because if there's more internal pressure, blood flow in your brain, which is stopping you to process things, and there's leakage of, or you know what hemorrhage is, right? Leakage of leakage of blood in your brain. It's called hemorrhage, right? So when you have hemorrhage, people will die spontaneously. So to prevent that, they'll not be putting a bone. Instead, they just put a thin wire attaching it to your hand, not a hand, but to the floor, making sure that the blood is passed from there to the different pipes. Got it? So this is how craniotomy and craniectomy is performed if you have benign and malignant tumors. Malignant tumors is mostly occurs when, if people didn't know you have a tumor. Few people might not know they have tumors. But the symptoms, the most common symptoms for tumors are different behavioral changes, abnormal changes. You can't speak, you get sad every time, you get depressed. Different emotional feelings over a period of time will be a sign of some tumors. But not completely, not everything's like that, but there'll be other symptoms. You will feel dizzy, you'll have a lot of headaches, migraines, complete migraines. So this can be a symptom of benign and malignant tumors. But most preferably, people with such symptoms will have benign tumors. But if you have malignancy and you delayed it, you might die. Okay? So make sure to keep all of these symptoms in place and in your mind right now, because it's very important. And then research on benign and malignant tumors spans diverse factors. So there are multiple researchers going on to prevent all these tumors, but everybody will have cancer cells, but we can't prevent them. We can't prevent them to spread across our whole body. But you need to take some kind of proper sanitation and hygiene to make sure it doesn't spread all over your body, right? So you have to be sure of that. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, what is benign? Anyone? What is benign? I just told you. Okay, benign is non-cancerous, malignant is cancerous. So moving on. Prevention of basic diseases. What do you think are the prevention of basic diseases? How can you prevent diseases like cold, fever, and all those stuff? How can you prevent them? Yeah, good diet, very good. Anyone? As far as I know, I think we need to maintain a proper hygiene and sanitation and go for regular checkups, as I said, for glaucoma. Every 6 months is very beneficial for you, and inhibit the consumption of junk. This is most probably for kids, and even for me, because I'm a kid too. Okay? And yeah, junk has to be, preventably, not preferably eaten, but to an extent, yeah, but out of the extent, no. I would prefer no. And then regular physical. Physical exercises are very important. One of my family members are not doing any physical exercises. As I mean, my mom knows that too, but yeah, but it doesn't matter. Okay. But as far as I know, I think physical exercises are very important. Go for cycling, go for a walk, roam with your dog, talk to your friends, do something, but you have to do some kind of physical exercises. Okay. Okay, this is, I think, 30 seconds video. We'll just watch about health, sanitation, and hygiene. Okay. So this is a short video on like how UNICEF and different organizations help promote health and research to different people. For example, the different vulnerable people or poor people cannot afford different medications for their health safety. So for those people, different organizations like WHO. Does anybody know what WHO does? Louder, please. Okay, what does it do? Anyone? Anyone? Raise your hand. Okay, can I pick? You. What is WHO? You can just sit and talk. Yeah, what does it do? Any idea? Yeah, good. Okay. So that is one of the things, but basically it just promotes. It is founded in 1948 and it is a United Nations agency. They'll be promoting different kinds of health equipments, medications, beds for all the hospitals and needs. So these are some of the organizations, WHO and UNICEF, remember them. So we look at some statistical data. So this is different diseases over a period of time, and these are all the ages in the y-axis. X talks about the percentage of the diseases that are rapidly growing or declining in the rate of progress. So as you can see, arthritis has a very high growth at the age of 85. Does anybody know why? What is arthritis? Basically knee joint, knee pain, hand pain, muscle pains, etc. is called arthritis basically in terms of basic vocabulary. So it has a very rapid growth, but the minimum growth is here is I think kidney diseases. They include kidney stones, kidney tumors, kidney malfunctions, etc. So all these includes kidney diseases. This is just for information but not needed. So we'll be talking about all over the world. In Asia, we mostly see all these diseases. You can just read them out. Anyone can stand up and read them out. Who wants to read them? Quick, one. Okay. You want to read? You can get up and read. Can you see? Yeah, read. Okay. Okay. Diabetes. Chronic respiratory diseases. Okay. So as CAD involves in Asia, so it is mostly common in Asia. And coming to, so yeah, these diseases are mostly responsible for these and these percentage of deaths. You can sit. Now in Africa, you can see all these viruses. Africa is not properly sanitized or hygiene. So you can see all these viruses. And this includes South America, South Africa. So we'll just move on because we have less time, I guess. So this is the statistics of how 25% of people just survive using preventive measures like sanitation and hygiene. 50% are diseases are genetically mutated or passed on from one generation to the other. And 75% of disease is a mutant and can be, as I said, it is a genetic disorder. It can be passed from your parents to your child, to your offspring, etc. So as I mentioned, I've met different kinds of doctors under different specialities to get all this information and to spread awareness to all of you guys. So I've met ophthalmologists. Everybody of them did masters and did their masters in London. and make sure they reach this stage. So all of them are residents, and gastro is basically about stomach, intestines, ophthalmology is eye, pediatrics is children, children medicine, neurologist is brain, cardio is heart, as you all know. So all the evidences and images are present here. You can just go through them. So a little short demo or a vlog on how I met different doctors, how I traveled to different places. So let's just watch it. Just very short. Yeah, so that is how I met different doctors and went to different places. Okay, moving on. So I have different pages where you can go visit all of my research and work. I've created an Instagram account called medico underscore learn3. If any of you do have Instagram, I'm not telling you to create an Instagram account, but if you do have Instagram and if your parents do, please make sure they follow me and support me in all of my research work I've done so far. So I'm also creating a website called Meducation. It's all about medicine and education. So I've just combined the words together, making it Meducation. So I have different sources. In the homepage, you'll see all of my research. Info and research is all about the disease that I just talked about in detail. They're very in detail. All of the images are involved. I'm yet to publish this, but this is just a glimpse of how I wrote PSP. And you know all about PSP, I just told you. All of you know, right? So I've just written a small article on it. You can just go through them. I'll be sharing this very soon. And this is the logo of my Meducation. I want everyone to support me, and everyone please do follow my Instagram account. I am requesting you because I need all the support as I can. So these are just evidences. And now comes the question bank. Any questions, please do ask me right now. Even the teachers can ask me. Please, questions, guys. I love questions. Questions, quick. Any questions is fine. Even though it's silly, it's fine. Yeah. Tell me. You don't have questions? Questions? Are you sure? Are you that confident?
How much time it took time to do this research?
It probably took me like a month or so because I had to fix the appointments with the doctors and all the stuff. I have to travel to different places. So it took me a month to altogether do this research and stuff. So yeah. Thank you. Any questions, guys? Quick. I need 2 questions at least before I leave. I'm sad.
It's great, if they ask question again, you'll ask the same question.
Nothing like that. I am very nice to people, alright? You can just ask me any question. I don't mind if it's silly or not. I need questions, guys. Yeah, think. Yeah, ask. Okay, fine. Quick, I'll give you 2 minutes. Can I move on? All right. So before ending, I just want to put up my favorite thought. So as I want to become a doctor, and whoever wants to become a doctor here, I thought study hard until one day you can say, trust me, I am your doctor. I am your doctor. You can proudly say, I am a doctor. I am your doctor. I'm treating you. So you can proudly say that. So I really love this quote. So I just wanted to share it with all of you guys, especially who wants to become doctors. I think you are going to become doctors, right, as far as I know. So I think this would be really helpful, and this would motivate them to study more. And lastly, thank you so much for giving me your precious time. Thank you, Principal Ma'am, for your opportunity. I am so grateful towards you. And I hope this was very interesting. Is it really interesting? I mean, you guys didn't participate in talking with me. Why? Am I that strict? Do I look so teacher like that? Do I give that vibes to you? I'm a student, unlike you. Okay. Yeah, ma'am, you can come here. Thank you so much, guys, for giving me a chance and listening to me.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Harshini, uh, Hansini. It's a, it's a great research, and it's not only research. When you have interest, you can do this. So her interest is towards the doctor. Before madam asked a question, only two of you said, okay, doctor. It's not like only we have, money, so that like background, nothing, it's your passion. Okay, so after this session I hope most of you would like to become a doctor. It's not like you know everyone is a doctor actually. Okay, so as you learned now in this session regarding what first, your stomach, your brain and eyes and yes, heart, right? For this all these, one common thing is what now? You need to do exercise. Exercise is a very powerful tool which is no cost, low cost. Yes or no? Just you need a time. Yes? And you read more books. It's not like only your textbooks. Okay? Out of the box. More textbooks. More books rather than the textbooks. So you read that. You'll develop it. It is an interest which is like recreation to your mind too. Yes? Develop this hobby. Okay? And I want to appreciate Ma. It's a very good one. It's a great hard work. It took like such a long time. Madam has to take the appointments with all the doctors. She needs to research, collect it and present it. Right? Without doing hard work, there will be no result. Yes or no? Right? So, yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you once again. Thank you. Great work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all your lovely opportunities and the chance to give me to teach you something. I'm very grateful to everyone sitting here. Even my mother, she helped me a lot through this journey, and I'm very grateful to her. So yeah, thank you so much. And I hope everybody becomes a doctor like me, whoever wish to be. And please do hard work. And I'll be coming here often to give you some kind of presentations to motivate you. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you. You can. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Your name? Your name? I know your name. Your name? Which class are you in? 8th. Hansi, I'm going to be one great. What did you guys think when you first saw me? They are smart. Okay, what did you guys think when you first saw me? You thought I was a doctor? Oh, please. I'm just a 10th grade student, 2 years older than you, that's it. I'm studying in Oak Ridge International School. Okay? Put that in your mind, I'm not doctor. Okay? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
My name is Mahesh from 8th standard. I am studying in Gautam Model School and it was very informative.
I'm Agnesh from 7th class GMS. It was very thoughtful information and it was good.
My name is Sumaya. I am studying in 7th standard GMS school. It was a thoughtful, very information. I'm Aksrubi from 8th class, and after this presentation also I'm inspired to be a doctor, and thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your valuable feedback. Thank you.